Good afternoon, fellow YouTubers, and welcome to another fun-filled episode of Chillin with Da Pool. I'm your host with the most, Pirate Master Deadpool Supreme, here to bring you another thrilling adventure from the Marvel Universe. Joining me in this endeavor is is Guardians of the Galaxy's enigmatic space wizard, Adam Warlock. Pleasure to meet you all, and for those joining the channel recently, don't forget to hit that like. Be sure to subscribe, and be sure to leave a like, subscribe, and any questions you may have, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Just remember to be civil when you're leaving the comments, and we shouldn't have that much of a problem. Well, truer words were never spoken, especially by Glam Rock Space Jesus himself. I still do not know who that is, but hopefully that's a compliment. Yes, it is a compliment. Anyway, today we'll be diving into the adventures of one of Marvel's original superhero teams. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you, ta-da! Team First Class, the original band of X-Men, or as some people call them, the O5. For those of you who don't know, the original X-Men comprised of five ordinary teenagers, or in my headcanon, an actual teacher supervisor. So anyway, the one you see here is Cyclops, the redhead's Jean Grey, the one with the wings is Warren Worthington, the one with the gigantic feet is Beast, and the silverish white one is Iceman. You'll be getting to see a lot more of them as we flip through three specific stories. Since this is a big book, I'll just go through the big three, the ones that they encountered. Let's get started, shall we? Let's see here. Now, like I said, only keep in mind, let's see. Here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, I give you the bird, the beast, and the lizard. Yep. Long ago, when Hank McCoy was still a regular teacher, and of course, in Florida, there was, of course, Team First Class came across paths with one of Spider-Man's most tragic foes, the Lizard. On their way home from another successful mission, Professor Xavier has Team First Class's helicopter route redirected down to Florida, where he is visiting an old colleague of his named Dr. Kurt Connors. Of course, this was his wife before she dyed her hair, Martha Connors. They'd moved in. They were originally from the Florida Everglades, and as you can tell from the file footage, he has an excellent prosthesis. That's the best, because it's a real arm. It's gone for 72 hours, so he had developed, for those of you who don't know, Kurt Connors actually developed a serum based on reptilian regenerative healing factors. However, the serum had more reptile than it was regeneration, and he had accidentally infected himself, but grafting the reptilian DNA didn't stop there. Yep, as you can see, and I have returned to evolution. Should have gone. So yeah, his wife says that after the latest transformation, the lizard has hid within the Florida Everglades, aka the Swampland. So they make a promise to try and go after him. Hank, being the responsible teacher that he is, tags along with Warren. Scott says, maybe I should go too. It's like, chill, Scott. Bobby's like, chill, Scott. Most of you need to, and I should chill, Scott, and I should know, because he's, the Iceman. As believable as you may find this, Scott, we can do things without your guidance. And he's like, you're right, Hank. Why, did you know that I went to the bathroom this morning? He's like, no. And without Scott, yes. You can tell, Iceman, these two are, you can tell that these two, hang on just a sec. So anyway, as we had mentioned before, Team First Class was doing their best to try to track down the Lizard. So it turns out Warren actually has a summer home here in Florida. Who knew? Known for miles. That's what I call a private beach. So Angel and Beast volunteer to take charge and go after the Lizard themselves. weary. Meanwhile, Scott, Bobby, and Jean are all enjoying themselves on a nice private beach. I dare say you'll find it more interesting if you keep your hand inside the boat at all times. And with these alligators, you can definitely see why. Look at the size of these bruisers. Look at what are they eating? Nutrients, like I said. Can they get in the boat? Yeah, I suppose they could. It says, they use their fun fact, crocodiles and or alligators use their incredible jaw strength and weight to pull prey down into the water. They rarely need to struggle, simply waiting for the creature to drown. So anyway, Bobby's just playing around on the beach, and of course the Professor X uses his telepathy to form an ice sculpture of himself. He says, yes, sir. Remember, your physiology leaves you particularly vulnerable to sunburn. I suggest you take a break from the solar onslaught for a while. Oh, almost forgot my sunscreen. Thanks, Professor. Later, tants. Yeah, he calls them mutants. It's a slang. I'll be in the dark if you need me. Yeah, right. Good times. Oh, and Scott? Yes, sir? I'm only communicating with you now. Don't say I never did anything for you. You the man. I said I'm covered in sand, so want to go in the water? So you can definitely tell that in this reality, Jean and Scott were definitely a thing. And yes, before you go into the whole lump triangle thing, I can actually understand. I can see why they had them like this. But I probably won't go into more details. Anyway, the reason I love this particular issue of Team First Class is you got the X-Men actually fighting a Spider-Man villain, the Lizard. Oh, Malaysia says hello, and everything. So yeah, that's definitely it. Touch is on. Ooh, nice. So yeah, anyway, after a brief battle, you see both Beast and Angel fighting with the Lizard. Yeah, we definitely showed him who's boss. Anyway, yeah, Scott's, as much as it's pain to admit it, Scott is the kind of person that we need for this kind of thing. Yeah, I bet he's one of those mope fest. The last thing we need is another downer. But it turns out that he and Jean are actually having a wonderful time. Except when she accidentally knocks off his sunglasses and then his eyes start blasting. He's like, oh, my glasses came off. You know, she basically tells Scott to take off the glasses and then just fire straight on, head first, right out into the water, non-stop. At this point, Scott here literally opens his eyes and shoots out a large laser or optic blast halfway across the ocean. Like, see, no one got hurt. You got what you wanted. Just like a horse needs to run free, you have to use your power. So in this reality, Jean definitely gets Scott. Meanwhile, in the Everglades, Beast and Angel do their best to try to apprehend the Lizard, except for when the Lizard bites down on Hank's leg. Yeah. Not swallowing this mammal, you vicious reptilian. So yeah, it's another climactic battle. Hell, Angel even grabs Lizard by the tail. But it chomps off its arm. The tail comes off, and as a result, Angel ends up getting Angel, gross. He bit off his own tail just to get away. Pretty hardcore, if I say so myself. And smart. He'll have that grown back in no time. Just throw it away. You need to study that? No, we need to leave a blood trail for him. I get it. Hank's using his resource, his intellect, to leave a breadcrumb trail. Bring it on plants. A trail of his own blood will rile him up to follow us. And it works. The lizard takes the bait and follows the two mutants across the Everglades. Got it. So Iceman, thinking quickly, Iceman uses his powers to freeze over the water and different temperature, and even freezes the lizard in place. Thankfully, his mouth is open long enough. He says, "I don't know how else I would have gotten him to ingest this. How about I put it in a raw chicken and leave it for him to eat it like they do at gator farms? That could also have worked." Wow, the one time Bobby actually was using his head. After taking the cure, Dr. Connors' cure was again neutralized. My students and I came for a visit and learned about your condition. And before you ask, no, your family has not been harmed. It's on my leg, that. Where'd the dog come from? It's that dog that always craps in my yard. You have wings. It'll take some time to explain ourselves. Why don't you come with us for a few hours? To a more relaxing environment. Looks like we have this night all to ourselves. A toast to a summer vacation. Alright, so that was the first volume. There's a few more issues of this, but I want to get to the ones that are really, really interesting. Anyway, during a regular training exercise at the Sentinel, Scott ends up seeing something through his lens, through his visor. It's seeing red, and by seeing red, it's usually it's a euphemism for getting angry, like really, really angry. He tries to zap at whatever thing was on, whatever he saw, like this horrible goblin-like demonic monstrosity. But everybody thinks he's just gone nuts. He tries again and again, and apparently this guy who keeps hacking this the Sentinel's frequency. They find out, they bust him, and you know how the story goes. They fight the Sentinel, they scrap the Sentinel, and it's still have the robot under control. Lying, I don't even think he knows about us or the Sentinels. I sure find, well, sure, I often find old robots in trouble and spend months tracking them and fight mutants. Who doesn't? Ask him where he's got those strange claw marks on his chest. It's like, you telling me like I'm going nuts or anything? As it turns out, it's like, that's usual. The professor then, with his telepathy, is like, happening. May I have permission to enter your mind, Scott? Yes, please. So, using his telepathy, the professor enters Scott's mind and sees through his eyes. As a result, he can see these strange claw marks. It's not hallucination. It's not a hallucination. It's a residual occult energy, which is not my forte. But I believe I know just the man who'd help, and I believe that you had all met him when you helped to imprison my wayward brother, Cain Marco, aka the Juggernaut. It's from the man. Your guide had the power and knowledge to reach the mystic realm of Sitarak himself. That's right. See, in the comics, Cain Marco was a mutant. Well, I mean, in most versions, he is a human that was just being a dick. But in my version, I think he preferred he was a mutant with already existing super strength. He got greedy, wanted more, and of course turned to sorcery in order to increase his power 100-fold. He got his wish and became the unstoppable Juggernaut. You mean, and Jean's like, wait, you mean to tell me we're visiting Doctor Strange? But he found us when we had to go to that dimension. How do we contact him now? After I try to help this unfortunate engineer deal with the psychic intrusion he's experienced, we'll go back to the school, and I think I know just the way up we can contact Doctor Strange. The phone book. Yes, can. Yes, boys and girls, there was a time when we had to contact people. It was the phone book. We'll meet out front. Pack our 2.0 uniforms and meet me outside the train station. And I was like, well, this mystic lives in the middle of Manhattan. There's nowhere to land the jets, so it's a pretty quick train ride. See, this is why trains are awesome. They get you to where cars and planes can't go. Greenwich Village. This is kind of cool. We should probably set up a base here. We probably wouldn't even stick out. Yeah, let's see hippies, goths, beatniks. And of course we see Wong, the Doctor Strange's assistant, and later Sorcerer Supreme. During the blip, of course. Jumpin' Jehoshaphat, this is actually wilder than my uncle's place. Just don't touch anything. Not to worry. I bid you all welcome. It's an honor to meet Charles Xavier and his team of lieges. Likewise, Doctor. And such charming companions, I may add. Good to meet you in the flesh this time. That's Doctor Strange for you. The Vincent Price ladies' man and charmer he always is. And of course, as you can tell by this dripping speech bubble, Scott is definitely not happy in the slightest. Using his mystical knowledge, he's able to see this. A demon has attached itself to your crystal visor. Advisor. Must have been when you were still battling Juggernaut. After you needed the ruby of Sitarak to imprison Cain Marco there, and I could send you to there if it battled out the creature called Outcast. You were victorious in all counts, but yet I was not present for your return, to make sure nothing came back to you in this world. So during your battle imprisoning Juggernaut, the demon must have latched itself onto your visor. Consider the entrance to the Sitarak realm is through the ruby gem, hence Scott's ruby visor. Scott's visor uses ruby crystals to conduit Scott's energy. While you were there, it took on the properties of other crystals. It can register on a whole different spectrum, a demonic one. I was going to say that. No, Bobby. No, you weren't. Any malevolence that slips through this one is as formidable as any power. So apparently he brought Scott's visor. He goes, boy, you really don't trust me to break them, do you? That's only half of the ones that I actually have. So apparently Professor Xavier keeps backups. So now everyone, all now, whoa, now that's red. Let's get on. So now that everyone's wearing Scott's visor, they all see Outcast, the evil, the vicious demon. Let's see what else this is. Oh yes, I believe the demon's trying to tell us something. It says die. Now it's gone. It may try to send for a threat another way. Also all dressed for the occasion. Hey! We'll need to... I will leave the door open so that you can stay telepathically linked with your students, and Wong will defend the portal. Thank you, Strange. So they enter... Hands gone. This looks familiar. You two pass through here on your way to Sidorak's realm. We will be able to open the portal on the path again and banish the demon if we find it. But do not be alarmed. Your powers may work differently on this realm than it does in the mortal realm. Many have had... This looks like a nightmare I've had. Many have nightmares set in this very place. You should don your visors to be on your guard. This whole thing is red. Sorry, Scott. Yeah, I get it. You know, I never thought I'd be able to see the world the way Scott does. It would tend to color one's perspective, and no, I didn't mean that as a joke. Why am I hanging? I got wings, I can fly. It's like, nothing. Oh, there. Gosh, Ike. Holy God, you're sitting right on top. Oh, you're literally sitting right on top of this demon. Yeah, so as you can see here, it says, I must go and restore your friends, or they could be lost here forever. Using its magic, the spell on of familiars reduced its power greatly. It's still pretty big. You may be able to defeat it if you hurry. Iceman was able to use this dimension's effects on his powers to his advantage. My powers are truly off the charts. That's why they say Iceman had is quoted as saying, high potential, low discipline. And Scott blasts a hole through it. As you can see, the demons are technically immortal. They cannot die. They can't die. They're not amongst the living, so they truly can't die. Yet some of them are not even dead. Their spirit, he just merely blasted through their physical husks. And he most certainly isn't. It took me a while to find. Sorry I'm late. Sorry I'm late with the telepathic messaging. It took me a while to find this. Where are Warren and Henry? Doctor Strange is looking for them. And of course, these two are fighting. Jean, I think you are the key to stopping this. Your powers may be equal to that of powerful magic. Using her telepathic knowledge, she is able to forge a mighty psionic construct and to temporarily paralyze this beast, and guiding enough to pull the rift open. And of course, let's populate it. Quick, throw the demon inside. And using his optic visor, he was able to blast Outcast right back through the dimensional rift. You okay? Very tired, just very dizzy. It's like, hey, looks like you made mooks of them again. Restoring them was the easy part. Catching them was not. What has transpired here? I found a rift to the gemland to exploit. Jean opened it and cast the demon back. Oh, I was going to do that. Ha! That's Doctor Strange for you. Let us view the realm to make sure it didn't slip away again. No, it's cool. We took care of it. I want to make sure. That's him, all right. They seem glad that I had to have him back. That must have been his goal. He did not wish to be in our world. He just wanted to be reunited with his kin. And as a result, it's like, demons why didn't you just make him clear? Just make that clear instead of trying to kill us. Demons are not humans, young man. They do not express themselves in ways we would find normal. So is this where you sent Juggernaut? Yes. Sorry, I just had to stretch my leg. Anyway, as stressful as this is, he is still, even though a menace that Kane Marco may be, he's still the professor's half-brother. And so they all celebrate with a nice pitch of relaxing tea. Now we jump into the final story of what's featured in this story. The time that Iceman and Team First Class team up with the mighty Asgardian avenger, Thor. As you can see there, the X-Men are being spied on while they're taking care of this Asgardian troll that's been terrorizing a local fishing village. As you can see, it's like, I'm at a loss for here, Cyclops. It's clearly the creature we've been hearing about all over the northeast. It must not have heard of keeping a low profile. So Jean tries to blast it, and it's like, move in, Iceman. I can't freeze him. Of course, they've been spied on. Of course, Team First Class has been spied on by apparently the Vanir, which apparently are like an Asgard's answer to a cult or something. Kind of like the occult worshippers of what do you call it? Oh yeah, Laufey, the Ymir, the Frost Giant, the two Frost Giants of Muspelheim. No wait, that's not Muspelheim's. Jotunheim, yeah, that's it. Yes, Jotunheim. Sorry, I gotten all the realms mixed up a little bit. But the Vanir have darted each of them. And each of them have to paralyze them, because it turns out what they really were after was Iceman. What could he have to offer him? But using the gem, they were able to teleport away. Now, you may be thinking, why is this? It's like, yes, as it happens, you are heroes. Yes, give it away, the mystic way we are lying on our faces. You've been in battle. It would have been a group of 4, would it not? Yeah. Did they all have long hair? We're fighting this big weirdo, and then some band shows up and darted all us. Yes, tranked like a common animal. It's like, Iceman has taken him. It was them, all right. Again, I picked up their trail too late. X-Men, can you hear me? Yes, we read you loud and clear, Professor. Someone drugged us, sir. Don't speak out loud, Angel. Where is Bobby? He's been kidnapped by by that monster troll guy. I almost see what you're speaking with. Is this a god? Now look, Mystery Doctor, I believe that we should be questioning you. You don't seem very surprised by a man with wings, and you're unnaturally perceptive. Also, oddly, tall as our attackers. There is a connection. Very strange. I sense I'm not getting all of his being, yet I sense no maliciousness in this man, probably for noblest purposes. I assume that due to this, I am telepathically being judged. Now, of course, for many of you longtime Marvel fans, his name is Dr. Donald Blake. A mortal doctor with a walking stick. Now, for those of you, for all you 616 fans out there, you'll know exactly who this man is. The best at that. Now we join the Vanir as they have chained Iceman to their sacrificial altar. It's like, man, I hate jewelry. After landing the X-Jet somewhere in the Arctic, Team X-Men, the Team First Class, and Donald Blake go after them. The Vanir, it's like, they're in mighty Vanir, Ymir, accept your sacrifice. Turns out the troll guy was also a sacrifice to Ymir, the Frost Giant of Jotunheim. Ymir, the living winter. We are your faithful Vanir. We have freed you. Return to the frozen world so that your glory may rule. And he goes, Ymir answers to no one. And so he just walks them away. Then look before you, Frost Giant. Maybe you will answer to... Ta-da! The mighty Thor. Thor Odinson, Prince of Asgard, and one of the founding Avengers. Looks like I stand corrected. You brought Thor for me? You guys rock! You are the one they use to summon me. Frost Giants, this is no longer your realm. Unhand those youths immediately! Wow, Thor does not play. How are you doing, Gene? Shh, just need to concentrate on a proper strike. Excellent, Gene. I'll draw his attention so Warren and Scott can reprise their flying gun routine. In range, Professor. Then fire! Today's mortals know little of Frost Giants. Ymir does not control nature. Ymir is nature! Thanks, Hank. Don't know how long I can hold you with my feet getting numb as such, huh? Accomplished, yes. My ice is coming back, but I can't see how that's gonna do us any good here. Warren, try to get over here. Can barely flap my wings. Buddy, impressive. Yeah, I got a lot of material to work with for once. These are the best conditions I've ever had with my power. Well, they crashed the X-Jet into Ymir. What's this? You would become a Lord of Winter. You'll seek to replace Ymir. Dude, no, you can keep your job. I was just being kidnapped. His attention is all of that on Bobby. Thor and Bobby. Hold on tight then. There's a vertical glacier around him. This could be tough, even when they're beaten to crack. Then I'll just have to take a good long look. Ymir is the only elemental here. That power is mine. The age of ice is over, Ymir. Sweet. Stand back, young man. As enjoyable as it is to smash Ymir all day, and that does sound like fun, he can reform himself endlessly, and he will not tire as would we. Ymir will not be banished. Thor says you shall. You just evict him? I did, to another realm of Asgard. Ymir was originally banished to eternity, but has consumed the Midgard Vanir's talisman. Along with that troll, dude. Now it will be easier for him to breach the gaps between the worlds again. I should warn the Avengers of this possibility. At least these modern Vanir seem to be out of business, as it were. It's been an honor to meet you, sir. It is the pleasure of Thor to meet newer heroes such as you, with such talent. Still, I would offer a warning to the youngest, one Drake of the Winter. There. You possess the elemental powers of winter. The legends say that Ymir was once a human, just like you. We must consider well the paths great powers lead us down. I would not wish to return in 1,000 years to battle yet another frost giant. Yes, sir. Can you remember a time Bobby didn't have a smart remark ready? Never. The Thunder God makes quite an interesting suggestion. Yes, if Ymir is too difficult to work with, then perhaps a new frost giant must be fostered, and with him, Vanir return to glory. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the end of the 3 stories I promised I would cover here on this channel. If you want to learn more about the Team First Class adventures, be sure to look up X-Men First Class, Mutant 101 from 2006. And that just about wraps it up for this unnecessarily extremely long episode. Anyway, that's all the time we have for this unnecessarily long episode today. But thank you all for tuning in, and be sure to tune in next time when we jump into another fun-filled adventure. Until then, I'm Pirate Master Deadpool Supreme. And I am Adam Warlock, champion of Carrots. Yeah, carrots this. Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Anyway, until next time, true believers, Excelsior.